gentlemen, dude and dudettes, I am Matt Burns. This is The Burning Truth, and what a full-packed week we've got this week. And I am not alone. I am, of course, with none other than...
Excuse me.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I introduce to you the one and only me, James Irvine. Hi, guys.
You had to fit that in, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I had to. Yeah, how could I not?
Fair enough. And you probably may have noticed that there is one voice down for The Burning Truth. Unfortunately, JB, as we mentioned last week, is unavailable this week due to prior engagements, and due to that, he is not on this episode. And I've got to say, what a week he's missing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would say this is probably going to be a very interesting week because we've got no pay-per-views to cover. Am I right?
What? No pay-per-views? No pay-per-views? What's going on? I don't like it. I'm not used to it.
I was about to say, I mean, I literally, we've had some garbage that's melted our eyeballs that we've had to cover. But no, we've just got the usual.
Yeah. Of course. Before we continue on, or anything like that, we will have to do our usual audio disclaimer without John Blow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be doing it this week. So, without a dubious fact, the following episode of The Burning Truth is basically going to have some opinions and views that may be unsuitable and may offend some listeners. You know, some younger audiences may, some of the language that may be used on this may be more colourful than most. And just to point out, there may be swearing that we will try and give a prior warning. There will be most likely soapboxes at some point. There usually is one somewhere.
Hell yeah.
And on top of that, some of the topics some of you may find offensive. If you are easily offended and everything, this might not be for you. But with that being said, you have been warned.
Warned. Explicit material follows this.
Correct. And on top of that, audio discretion is advised. And as my colleague would usually say, this episode may contain strobe lighting effects, even though we're audio.
And in the words of a certain celebrity that was on Bo Selector, don't say fuck or bugger. I told you I'd fit that in.
I didn't expect that. Even though you told me it was going to be fitted in somehow, I did not see it coming in from out of nowhere.
In the most Bo Selector voice, it is, "My name's Davina, and don't say fuck or bugger, because we are now live."
Pretty much. But anyway, we had the capability of doing that, as you might have guessed. So, anyway, let's just get on to one of our usual weekly things that we do cover, which is The Burning Truth does actually still support and, does still support Black Lives Matter and hashtag Speaking Out. We do still have a availability for anybody who wants to, basically have a discussion in regards to them topics, and just to be a discussion only. But however, I will state, if they are coming on to the episode, we will have to forewarn no accusations whatsoever due to us not being, because we don't want anybody being sued for libel or accusations.
But that being said, don't hesitate to actually interact with us. We'd love it. We'd love it if you came to us and spoke to us about these things. It would be amazing.
Exactly. We've always got an ear out at all times, and I will say it's been interesting hearing the fact that we're not just being listened in just in one country.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was actually shocked when you told me. Do you want to run through a list of the countries? We can give them a shout out if they're listening.
Pretty much, pretty much. I'm just literally getting that information up as we speak. We've got people from India, we've got people from the United States, we've got people from Germany, we've also got people from the Russian Federation, and of course the UK.
Wow, that's some outreach there. That's brilliant.
It is, and we always welcome any new listeners and everything. So, if anybody does want to throw anything over to us, any messages or anything you wanted to put out on the air, we're more than welcome.
Yeah, we're
Always more than welcome.
We'll do our best to interact with you as best as we know how.
And
By
the other thing about that,
you always are.
yeah, and the other thing about that as well is that's only for a month.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. That's
Because
crazy. I mean, if you know anybody that likes listening to podcasts, just push us their way. If they're into wrestling or they like sports, bring just
or even just dramatic ramblings.
yeah.
Give us
Or
a give.
yeah, we all love a good soap opera on here. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I like it. I like it. But yeah, I just thought to just give a bit of a shout out to many listeners that we do actually have from time to time. But genuinely, thank you very much for listening to The Burning Truth. Hopefully, we'll get more of you each week.
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed.
And unfortunately, right now, we've now got to go on to a bit of a
Ramble,
no,
soapbox.
so a more of a somber note at the moment because unfortunately this week did have some unfortunate news, especially for the British wrestling, well, in wrestling in general.
Yeah,
A fellow wrestling colleague who I've even met myself personally and been able to know as well. I unfortunately this week lost his battle to mental health.
yeah, it's sad times. It's really is sad times for somebody that knows all too well about mental health. I mean, both of us do, really, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we know the struggles, and some people can't make it through them dark times, and they see no way out. And my heart goes out to him and his family. I just hope that time will be a healer for them.
Fingers crossed it will be. But I will say he did leave an impression. In case if anybody hasn't picked up on who wants to know who we are referring to, we are referring to none other than Ryan Smile. Genuine nice bloke all round, and the weird thing about it is his surname Smile because most of the time whenever he was around and everything, he was always producing that for people, for others.
Yeah.
Genuinely always producing that for be it either in the locker room, be it either with friends, family, or even entertaining many in front of it. And the scary thing about it is love and passionate for him. It has. This is how much of a kind person he was. Even the people who have moved on to WWE, when they've immediately heard the news about this, they've reached out, sending condolences and everything, and making, basically sharing kind stories and words of Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I never knew him personally. I never even met the guy, but from what people told me, he was a really nice guy. And it's like I say, my condolences to his family. It is sad and tragic news. So hopefully, time is a great healer.
Exactly, couldn't have said that better myself. So at this moment in time, the Burning Truth would like to do a bit of a tribute for him
Yeah,
by doing a 5 bell salute, which has been tradition for the Burning Truth. So with that, we are going to have silence while that 5-bell salute is carried out. Thank you very much for that. Rest in peace, Ryan Smile.
Yeah. Rest in peace, young man.
Now, in regards to our main topics for this week, let's just say we've got to have a we've somehow got to have a quick discussion of the WWE Draft 2020.
Yeah, now I think everybody knows how upset we were about that on the first week of the draft, so I can assume that they will understand how upset we are about this week's. Makes you want to cry, but do continue.
We've then also got to mention a bit of a story involving Lars Sullivan.
Yes. Freak.
Oh dear.
Freak
Oh
with a
dear.
beard.
Yes, he has been known as the Freak, and I've heard of gaining a nickname, but he didn't have to literally take it to new levels. But as for what we are referring to, you'll have to wait and see.
Yes.
On top of that, we've also got to talk about Raw Underground.
Yes, that big epic fail of dog shit.
I wouldn't say it was an epic fail or anything, but we can have a bit of a discussion about it.
According to a certain person, but we'll discuss that anyway.
We'll discuss that. We will discuss that. And then we've also got some interesting news for the Burning Truth website.
Interesting news, brilliant news.
Yes.
Mr. Burns has been a very busy bee.
Yes, I have. So please have sympathy if I...
Lots of sympathy.
Especially seeing as, oh, good Lord. But anyway, we digress. We've then also got a non-wrestling topic to discuss this week. And it doesn't involve sports.
Yeah, the different tone to this week. Bit more.
And then, as promised last week, we've then got our epic wrestling moment. Oh, wait. No, check that. Not moment. Moments. Because if you recall, last week we couldn't do one.
We couldn't fit it in because we are literally like a trio of cackling hens.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Cluck.
I'll give you that.
Cluck.
I see what you did there. But anyway, that let's just get down straight into it. Let's get on to the biggie, shall we?
Yeah, the big one.
The WWE Draft Night 2.
Right, now, I will pre-warn everyone that this may get a little out of hand. Yes. So where do we start with this mountain of, in Jurassic Park, like he said, that's one big pile of shit.
I can understand big chunks of it.
Yeah.
I do.
There is, as much as we hate it, when the draft comes round, we literally look at it and cry, but it's not all bad.
And on top of that, I've also found out some possible reasons why certain wrestlers have moved to different brands as well.
Yeah.
And the reasoning behind it, you'll sit there and think, really? And someone will go, oh, that's why. But we'll get to that. Anyway, as you can probably gather, we've got plenty of movements between Raw and SmackDown. Let's just go straight to the final points of issues, shall we?
Yeah, go. Let's go through the issues first.
Street Profits getting moved to SmackDown.
Oh God.
Which means the Raw Tag Team Champions are on SmackDown, and the SmackDown Tag Team Champions are on Raw. Well, that's not going to make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. Where's my monster? Meaning, basically, we've now got champions that are aptly named the opposite titles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like,
what is that all about? I mean, come on, seriously.
And WWE, to their benefit, has a plan.
Really, to fuck it up even further.
Let's switch the tag team champions. Let's just change the belts over. So the Raw,
it is
the New Day are now the Raw tag team champions, and the Street Profits are now the SmackDown tag team champions.
Basically, what we are saying is it's like playing a game of Pokemon, and after you've played the game of Pokemon and won your hand, you could easily go back to the other person that's won or lost, whatever, and just go, yeah, do you fancy swapping my Charizard for your Pikachu? That is the most annoying thing I've ever had to witness. You did not. Neither team earned the respective titles on that brand.
Yep.
So, in what mind fuck of a sense did they think to themselves, yeah, this could work?
Are you ready for the real big mind melder issue?
Go for it. I'm ready for anything.
With them changing over the belts and everything, does that also mean that they've actually gained one reign each?
Yeah, exactly. So is that an extra? Where does this shit end? Where does it end? Where does it end?
That's what I mean. Are they classifying that as a new reign? Is that a current reign? Is this reign number 2500 for the New Day? Is this Street Profits' first or second reign?
So technically, have the New Day nearly broken the record because of that title swap?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because they did not earn them titles on the respective brand. So you've got the Street Profits, who are now SmackDown champions, because obviously they swapped the titles, and then you've got New Day, who are now the Raw tag team champions, all because they played swapsies.
Yeah, I think something or other. I'm just...
Why? Just why?
I know. I'm trying to make note of it.
It's like not being constipated but going in for a jumbo-sized enema.
Oh my God. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
It's classified as a new reign.
It is. What the fuck? So they've broken it. Have they broken the record then, the New Day? Have they broken it or have they equaled it?
They are now 3-time Raw Tag Team Champions, 7-time SmackDown Champions. So technically now they are classified as 10 time. I'm not going through all 10 times he's saying that. WWE Tag Team Champions.
I hate this world right now.
Yeah.
Why? You did not earn it on the respective brand. You did not beat them on the respective brand. The Street Profits did not beat Cesaro and Nakamura.
Yeah.
So technically, the titles should actually be forfeited and a new tournament should be in place.
No, they can't do that. It doesn't make sense.
Oh my God! On what God green given earth does
This
it?
is not my logic. This is WWE's logic.
Look, I've already said it. It's like not having constipation and getting a jumbo-sized enema. It just does not make sense.
It's literally
It's a mind fuck. It's literally. It's like I could go out tomorrow and get hit by a bus. It makes sense because shit happens.
You didn't look. You didn't pay attention to the road. There's a reason.
Yes, because you're a fucking idiot.
So answer me this. Oh. If they hadn't have changed over, but because it's a draft, WWE've got this well planned ahead, and it's not like how it used to be like a raffle, if you remember.
Yes.
Which seemed to have more of which I thought was more interesting, seeing as it was like, oh, you had to, a certain team had to win to earn the right to get a transfer over. That, you know what I'm on about?
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Where it seems even more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And now it just seems to be like, we all know that Vince doesn't give a shit about tag teams. He really doesn't. Since like...
Unless you knew Day or Street Profits.
Yeah. So...
Well, actually, correction. Even New Day have even had to take a hit. They lost Big E.
Oh yeah, well we will we will be sad about that one, even though the New Day did bore the crap out of me with their bootios and stupid shoes.
You do realise that they're still going to be around?
What, bootios?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Because taking into account, Kofi and Xavier Woods are still the New Day.
Where's the comedic side of them gone? Because I remember, not so long ago, them chucking pancakes at people in the audience.
Well,
where's the comedy gone? That's why I love the New Day, because they were original and they were fun.
Are you ready for the idea of why they split up the 3-man group?
Go for it.
To make Big E more serious.
Oh God.
Which I'm fine with. To be taken serious, I'm fine with. Just as long as they don't make him too serious, if you understand me.
In his current gimmick as part of the New Day, it wouldn't work.
No.
To make him too serious of a character, they would have to do some serious, massive overhaul with his gimmick. Because
at which point, that by doing that massive overhaul, the audience could switch off. Could say, "Well, that's not the Biggie I got used to enjoy seeing."
Yeah,
he's too serious.
We used to love the big guy that could dance, and he had so much fun with the entrance, and just bootios though was just still a no for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
It just reminds me of someone's butthole.
No comments. No comments.
It's an O for the booty.
No comments.
Bootio.
I think they got the idea. But anyway, The point being is, I think they need to make him more serious, but still keep that lovable, roguelike humour about him.
Yeah, well, he's kept the entrance though, hasn't he? He's kept his entrance.
Hopefully.
From what I've seen so far, he's kept his entrance.
Well, we don't know yet because he hasn't wrestled on his own yet, properly.
Well, not as a serious character, no. But
No.
Hopefully he keeps that anyway, because it's over, and it's really good. So I just hope they don't mess with it too much.
Yeah. Basically, translation, I believe my colleague is saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. And if you try and fix it, I seriously hope that Triple H comes backstage and slaps you so hard across the face. Not you, Mr. Burns.
No. I'm sorry, but a slap isn't good enough.
No.
Shovel, sledgehammer, whatever.
Yeah, let's go in the terms of Vince McMahon's favourite heel moment. Kick in the balls!
You're here now, kick him in the balls!
You haven't got the grapefruits.
Anyway. Alright. Also on top of that, what I didn't get, I understood Daniel Bryan's return, because he has been off for a little bit, but I knew he was due back. What was
his reason for absence? I can't remember.
I think he was just taking some time off to rest up, and also due to looking after family and everything.
No, fair enough.
I believe. But then we've also got Charlotte Flair, who's got announced on there.
I think it's probably good that JB isn't here this week, because he'd be having a fit right now.
He's not the one who's going to be. You should be worried about having a fit. He's not the one you should be worried about. Because why is it, when even Charlotte Flair is supposedly injured, she's still being classified as on the fucking main roster and part of the draft?
I have no idea.
So translation, so in my honest opinion, translation, even if she's out getting work done or injured or whatever, she still has to be announced because she is a Flair.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, the name Flair, it's a big draw. And all Vince is thinking is, if we keep people thinking or assuming that she'll be back anytime soon, then, it sells merchandise still.
Yeah, but, yeah, good luck to Flair, and everything. But take into account, that has now been one slot of one of the current members of the rosters who's currently active on the show, who isn't going to be mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the person who hasn't been mentioned in the actual draft, and he is another kick in the teeth, is her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Andrade.
Okay.
Not even mentioned once.
Right. I wonder why that is.
Has Vince soured on him?
But we all know that once Vince has got that sour taste in his mouth.
No. What makes it even worse, and this is my big issue with it, is that when Paul Heyman was running it, he was getting pushed to the moon because Paul Heyman saw a star in him. And I believe his then tag team partner, Angel Garza, and that was unique. And what happened this week? Oh, well, let's put Andrade and Angel Garza in a match against each other. So a heel versus heel. And have Angel Garza beat Andrade clean.
Yeah. That's not... That's... Again, when you have a massive brain fart, this is the result.
Oh, yeah. Haven't finished yet. Have the Fiend turn up and Sister Abigail him.
So, are we burying all the superstars now, or
No, right. Now, bearing in mind, everyone thinks, well, he has been up on top. Well, yeah, he was on top under Paul Heyman's regime, right? Since Paul Heyman's no longer in charge of Raw, I believe it's Bruce Pritchard doing both Raw and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much love's been given to Andrade?
0?
How many months have they been trying to get the tag team championships off the Street Profits?
Oh, mate, I lost count.
4, 6 weeks, months, years, millennium? Yeah, basically,
Long time.
my point being is, having him lose continuously and somehow gaining another tag team championship match somehow and still not getting the job done after each time they've had somehow.
Frustrating.
Yes. However, notice this. He's now supposedly, to explain, he says, off for have minor surgery. And that some of the report sheets are speculating that it is rumoured, notice the words I'm using, rumoured, and I'm using the fingers very highly with air quotations. It's supposedly, when he comes back, having a big push.
Yeah. Wow.
Supposedly.
Just
in the same vein as Apollo Crews, Ricochet, I believe Aleister Black and Cedric Alexander. Who were getting big pushes. And where are they now?
Mate, seriously now, what I am going to say to you is the last time any of them had a major push is when they were born.
That's harsh.
Yeah, I mean, it's true though.
No. They've had pushes outside of WWE.
Yeah, but we look at WWE as like every wrestler.
Oh no, my mistake. This is WWE. WWE don't acknowledge other companies.
Yes, so there is no other company out there. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Naughty you, Mr. Burns. Naughty you. Get your facts straight. Jeez.
Yeah. Sorry, I just had to.
Sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus. Burns.
Anyway, we digress. All I'll just say to you is, it just seems as though someone's getting a push when he returns. 2 weeks. Oh, another name to add on to another person to add on to that. Humberto Carrillo. Because Vince McMahon was big on him, and now he isn't. He can't even keep He can't even keep his tag team partner, Dominic Mysterio, because he switched brands, just as they were getting good.
Oh yeah, that is just. I tell you what, I watched that match and I was in awe because I thought that Dominic was just one of them. He's a Mysterio. He'll come and then he'll go, and we'll forget he was ever here. But he really impressed me in that match. They had good chemistry.
And where's that gone?
Well,
that's right. That's right. Out the window.
Yeah, he's disappeared.
Yeah.
Disappeared out the window. Pigs fly and all that sort of garbage.
Right. Then, right, you ready for this? We've then got Jeff Hardy, moving from SmackDown to Raw. And by the way, Jeff, please don't cut promos on Raw like that again.
Yeah, and now, for those of you that don't know, I am a very big Jeff Hardy fan. Just point it out there. And for me, I really, really, really hate it when he does promos like this.
Yeah. when you got him turning around saying, you know, he's showing Seth that Raw's in good hands, fine, leave it there. If you're going to mention triple threat, leave it there. Leave it there. Leave it there. Don't say the best tag team match. It's not going to be a triple threat tag team match, you moron.
Triple threat tag team match. Do you remember a certain wrestler that we are very fond of and it's quite local to us that confused his shoulder, or was it his elbow with his shoulder? Yeah, my shoulder's hurting a little bit while sticking it to his elbow.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, look, I've dislocated my shoulder so low, it's gone to my elbow. Poke fun, but we love him.
Yeah, that we do. You know,
not mentioning that.
Well, he did have he did have a claim of having a body almost like a certain.
Yeah, Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A piece of art. But anyway, we digress. Yes. But anyway, the point being is, it just seems a bit unusual. But then we've also got Retribution.
Oh God.
You know, Prince Ali, Teabag, Tabasco, Slapnuts, and Recognition.
Yeah.
Or Recollection.
And also now the current edition of Ivana Tinkle.
However, the one that who gives a crap or who cares has decided to get sent back, has gone straight back to NXT. Well, sort of left the group and sort of not been mentioned, but has gone back to NXT.
Which, I'll tell you what, that will be the smartest move of her career.
Potentially, that could be potentially career changing.
Because we all know Retribution, it needs to be scrapped ASAP.
Yes.
It's not working. It is awful.
And what makes it even worse is it's the fact that it's not just working. The fact that is they haven't been on TV they weren't on TV last week.
Yeah, what
at
was
all?
That?
They were just mentioned. Or were they on before the week before?
Yeah.
Yes, they were. So
what? It's just
Retribution should be there every week. You know, showing we are the big bosses. Oh wait, that's right. I bet he didn't turn up because Stephanie McMahon and Triple H were there.
Yes, and they literally look at you and think, if you step into the ring whilst I am here, I am going to fire your arse.
Probably, and yet, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the case, you know, they might be breaking down WWE. Why didn't they go? Wouldn't that have been the perfect time to do it? To turn around and say we're just going to take over the draft and ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Ultimate heel move.
Yeah, exactly. That could have worked. But now we've got Ali as the leader, which
Prince Ali.
Prince Ali. Which, let's face facts, it's not. Vince hasn't done anything with him for a long time. He came up from 205 Live, and I actually quite like him as a wrestler.
Are you ready for this?
He's done nothing.
No. He could have done something if he didn't get injured.
Oh, is he injury prone, is he?
No. Are you ready for this? However, if he wasn't injured at this one time, we would never have Kofi Mania.
Yeah.
We would never have had Kofi Mania.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which nobody realises that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So, could that have been Prince Ali's big chance?
Could have been.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But anyway, the point being is, then WWE had some supposed hacker gimmick, if I'm not mistaken, on SmackDown. That lasted a while, then suddenly disappeared. With big rumours being Ali or Chad Gable will not use his current government wrestling name. Hells no.
No. That's a rant on its own.
That could be an episode on its own.
To quote Simon Miller, totally baldy.
I love it. I love it. But anyway, the point being is in his moment of, wasn't he meant to be supposedly explaining the reason why he is part of Retribution? Oh, that's right, he didn't. He hasn't yet. Is that this week? Is that next week? When is that happening?
Yeah.
And I hope the first thing that comes out of his mouth is he was the hacker. He's upset because somebody else took his spot when he was injured, and he's never been given a chance to do anything, and instead has been left out to nothing, to explain the reason why he's formed his own group.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, why didn't he bring this supposed group into play when the Hurt Business were kicking the shades of crap out of him and his friends?
Yeah. It just
doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Don't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Don't make sense.
By his merch. Anyway, let's continue on. We've then got The Fiend and Alexa Bliss going to Raw, which we expected, and Nikki Cross, so that wasn't easily identifiable. That was happening. Lacey Evans going from SmackDown to Raw. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode going to SmackDown and instantly getting championship and one contendership on episode of SmackDown, even though they lost to the Raw Tag Team Champions New Day.
Yep.
On Raw, so can't win one championship, so you'll get another one. Dabba-Kato getting a shot at being a Raw wrestler, even though he was part of Raw Underground.
Yes, yes, that shall play into
a topic later on.
Something later on.
And then we've also got, I believe, Arturo Ruiz, who's from NXT, going to Raw, but has actually only had one appearance, basically massively on the main roster, which was part of Raw, basically Raw Underground.
Mm-hmm.
So why are them two getting more notice than, okay, at least with Arturo Ruiz, it's on the supplement pick. Why is it that we've got people who haven't been drafted like Andrade and Mickey James who haven't been mentioned once on either night?
I was just about to say that's it's a bit. If I was them, I'd be concerned. But looking at it from an outsider perspective, say like your fan that doesn't watch it like a religion, they'll forget about him, and I think that's what Vince wants.
Yeah. Big Show hasn't been picked for a show either, even though he's technically on Raw, but he's only making sporadic appearances. Bo Dallas isn't even mentioned, seeing as he's on the books and he's a SmackDown wrestler, but hasn't made an appearance since November 15th, 2019.
Yeah, I can see him leaving, if I'm being honest,
or being just let go. Or is he doing a certain thing that a certain form of crime time wrestler did? Basically staying in hiding, not answering his phone, so he doesn't get fired and he still gets a paycheck.
Yeah. You crafty bastard.
Just whatever you do, Bo, don't answer your phone. Don't answer your phone.
Don't answer your phone. But don't forget, Austin did that once, and he didn't do he didn't do him very good. So
no, with Austin, he just walked out on the show.
Yeah, I know, but he still hid from the calls.
After he walked out, where Bo hasn't. He's still turning up, just not answering his phone.
Anyway, poor Bo Dallas.
Or better yet, he's probably somehow just, sneaked himself into NXT somewhere.
That would be nice. That would be good for him, actually.
Definitely. Seeing as he's lost his B team brother in arms.
Yeah, exactly. He needs he needs to drop back. And to me, in my eyes, NXT is a superior brand.
And it'd be a great place for him to rebuild himself as well, seeing as he made himself a name there.
Yeah, and all I can say about that is Finn Balor.
Bingo.
Falls back to NXT. Well, he saw it. He didn't see it as a fallback, and to be fair, I didn't see it as a fallback either. I thought it was a very smart move.
Yeah, clever.
Finn Balor, very clever. Everybody loves him, whether he's heel or face. He cannot do any wrong for me.
Mm-hmm. By the way, as I'm just going to point this out straight clean to you.
Yeah.
Has anybody noticed that most of the major feuds that people have been talking about, most of the time for WWE, are now all on SmackDown?
Yeah, what is that all about?
Now, can you remember me saying earlier in regards to people's, their thoughts on why is it, has someone goofed up and just thought, oh, we'll transfer them in, it's like, and then after he's done it, oh crap, I just moved all the major storylines over to SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that. Are you ready for this?
Go for it.
The reason being why it might have actually just transferred it all over to SmackDown, because the three major feuds that are being talked about is, and I know you're going to rant at this bit right now, Roman Reigns' domination of the entire brand. The SmackDown Women's Championship.
That's another rant.
Which is basically staying on, basically is one of the major feuds. And that Seth Rollins and Murphy and the whole Mysterio situation has gone over to SmackDown as well.
Which needs to stop.
But it's not. It's still going on.
It's gone on long enough.
With Murphy, and he isn't Seth's buddy anymore.
Yeah, I'm not your friend anymore.
And has actually attacked him.
Exactly. So now that's just going to be the Mysterios versus Seth.
It's not. Because they don't trust Murphy yet. So they're going to prolong this as long as possible. Are you ready for the big reason why?
Please do tell.
The reason behind it is because of ratings.
Ratings?
Yeah. You know how they've been dropping ratings recently because of the current pandemic and situation and everything, and they've been losing viewership?
Yes.
The reason why they transferred everything over, and you're just there thinking, but doesn't Raw need ratings? Yes, it does. However, with the USA Network, WWE Raw is being technically left unchallenged, and USA Network supposedly need Raw on their show as it brings content. It's still one of their top content bringers for the USA Network. Whereas on Fox, that's a different story. Because Fox have got plenty of sports, like NFL and everything, wanting to clamour at that spot on Fox. Basically, SmackDown's got a lot of other shows and other sports nipping at their heels. So they've decided to transfer all the best storylines over as much as possible to keep the ratings up, to keep their viewership up, to basically fight off any other potential people coming in and trying to steal their slot. Because if the ratings keep falling, it could mean that SmackDown may very well have to change network.
Now, this is where I'm going to go on a bit of a rant about this, because this is really irritating me. They're talking about ratings. Ratings are only there on WWE when you have decent storytelling and letting your talent actually be themselves. That's where your ratings are. Back in the Attitude Era, that's where the ratings were. Yes, okay, Vince being the crazy SOB that he is, really, really did change the world of wrestling with the Attitude Era. But it was the talent. It was the talent. You know, yes, it was Vince's idea, but the talent brought it through. Not just one man, the talent. And that if they actually let some of the talent that is on SmackDown, that was already on SmackDown, have the good storylines, and let them be themselves, let them be their characters without shoving a script down the neck.
And feeding their words.
Yeah, exactly. And it would work. They'd get better storytelling. They'd get better feuds. They'd have better rivalries. It would be absolutely brilliant. Except,
can I just interrupt you there? Suffering succotash. That's a good idea. Sorry, I just had to just fit that in, just for as a bad example of what not to say when trying to look like you're planning when you're trying to do look like you're trying to freestyle it in.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
You just had to, didn't you?
No, he was the one who had to fit that word in because the writers told him to.
Yes, but
if you remember, I was trying to reference that.
Yeah, no, I got it, but
I set you off at the same time.
Welcome to the I Hate Roman Reigns Society.
No. Let's just pause. Right. The point being is, I have, at the moment in time, we'll get to the Roman Reigns situation in a minute because we've got to get to the final point of why we hate the draft. Yet.
Yeah. Shoot.
Right, because after all that, they've done all the switches and everything. What happened on SmackDown this week? After we just lost multiple tag teams in one hit. Great way to build up your tag division, Vince.
Because tag team wrestling is apparently a sin.
Unless you are single individuals who've been band together.
Yes.
Or the Street Profits. Or the New Day.
Or the New Day.
No, 2 out of 3 of the New Day.
2 out of 3.
It's just stupid. It's just stupid because you've got Angel Garza, who was doing really well with Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
Now singles competitors. You got what I mean? We've got Angel Garza's on Raw. We don't know where Andrade is. Good Lord. The fact that Charlotte Flair could be making a return as, I believe, Andrade's manager.
Okay.
Possibly, rumoured has it, because she put it out, because Flair put that out on her on her post recently, even though her puppy hasn't been announced on which show he's fucking on.
Yep.
Because Vince McMahon has no fucking care for him, yet supposedly he's getting a push when he gets back.
Yeah, well, he doesn't specify what he means by push.
Probably out the door.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's either out the door or he's just going to say, can you just go change that light bulb up in the scaffolding? And next thing you know, you've got New Jack standing up there waiting to toss him off.
No. do me one favor, please. Rephrase that.
I'm not rephrasing that.
Rephrase them words that you used.
Okay, he threw him off. Okay, Mr. Burns. He didn't toss him off, because if he tossed him off, that would be a sexual act.
No. Just no.
Everybody knew what I meant by that. Everybody, but you and your filthy mind.
Good Lord.
You are
anyway, I'm not an animal. But anyway, we digress. The point being is, and this is these managed to split up multiple tag teams because Rey Mysterio is now going to tag with his son. When has that happened? Oh wait, it hasn't. I think the only time he's ever done something similar with him was against Brock Lesnar, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Other than that, they haven't actually had a tag match, an official tag match together.
Mm-hmm.
So they split up multiple tag teams. We've then got people like Charlotte Flair and everybody, being mentioned, even though she shouldn't be. And then on top of that, you ready for this?
Yeah.
We've then got SmackDown, who have got Raw and SmackDown wrestlers against each other. For fuck's sake! On the SmackDown premiere episode, on the season premiere episode of SmackDown. Yes, because we've all had a long break from WWE wrestling.
Yeah.
The season premiere.
Because it makes sense.
No, they're saying season premiere because they just had a fucking draft.
Yeah, exactly. It's a load of crap.
So, are we expected to see everybody on Raw this week as well?
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is the weird thing for me, right? Because obviously they're all in the Blunderdome.
Yep.
And I follow Cesaro on Instagram.
Yep.
And he was posting a picture of him and Sheamus, reminiscing over the bar, saying, "I'm going to miss you."
Yep.
He's not moving fucking country. He is going to be in the same building as you, just on a different brand of show.
No. He won't be able to see his friend on the same show. They're not allowed to be in the same building because they have to reduce the numbers. So they'll have to. They won't be able to spend as much time together. Even though I will say on SmackDown this week, Sheamus stomping the hell out of Kofi Kingston and saying the bar made you was even more hilarious.
Yeah. Yes. Way to throw back.
Pretty much. But at least the New Day got a nice sending off, which is fine. But then we've got Jeff Hardy against Lars Sullivan. Jeff Hardy, who is a Raw wrestler on SmackDown.
Because he apparently couldn't stay away.
Because he had a bone to pick with Lars Sullivan for attacking him last week. But so does Braun, and also Miz and Morrison.
Miz and Morrison?
Yeah, because Lars attacked them both.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my apologies, just had a brain fart.
Yeah, he attacked... he somehow decided to attack Miz after he beat up Thingy and then attacked Morrison on Raw. But who's the fucking face and who's the heel?
It's like being on a roundabout. You know when you come off a roundabout and you've just been spinning around at about 1,000,000 miles an hour when you were a kid, and you step off, and next thing you know, you're just like, oh my fucking good Lord, where's the
Why
edge?
did I hit the floor?
Yeah, and it was like, what? Why is my head still spinning? And then you just...
Stop.
This is what the draft is like for me right now, because if you're not an avid fan, I'm looking at it from the perspective of of a part-time fan of WWE. You love the WWE, but you can't watch it like a religion, as I was saying before.
And I'm really sorry, but it actually also applies to people who watch it regularly.
But to be honest, I think if people watch it avidly and they understand the draft and they can remember who's who on the draft, yeah, it's going to be weird for them, but they understand it. Do you know what I mean?
I watch it weekly every week, and I don't fucking understand it.
Well, that's what you get from burying your head in the sand, Mr. Burns.
Oh, no. I'm not saying I'm burying my head in the sand. I'm just saying I watch it every week. I'm not saying it's the only product I watch.
Yeah, I forgot you do like a few products, don't you?
Not that sort of thing.
I wasn't thinking that.
Behave yourself.
I was just thinking hair products and nail polish and...
Nail polish?
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you rocking it the other week.
Not me. unless you need to go to Specsavers. But anyway.
Dude, that was harsh.
What?
And man, there's nothing wrong with my eyes. I'm just trying to say that you were...
That's below the belt.
You were, rocking it up.
Yeah, I can see what you're hinting at. Are you referring to ointments, treatments, and everything? We'll leave it there. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in case you won't know what my colleague is referring to, it's because at the moment in time, I currently have an eye condition somehow. That is a potential a bit of a virus infection that is basically caused me to have extreme dry eyes, and I have to regularly make sure to keep my eyes safe, secured, and make sure to keep them healthy. And I'm leaving that subject there.
Where does the nail polish come into that?
I was just referring to the ointment. That's it. I'm just ducking and dodging and diving that completely.
Yeah, that was it. Dodging and diving.
Duck, dodge, dive.
Oh.
You can dodge that question. You can dodge a ball.
He has a gift, ladies and gentlemen. It is the gift of diverting your attention away from the fact that he was wearing nail polish.
I was not wearing nail polish, for God's sake.
He was also wearing heels and a large rubber spandex suit.
Spandex suit could have been coming down to when I was doing wrestling training. When I was training. Now, the heels, I have no idea what you're referring to, unless you're referring to me portraying a heel in training practice. Other than that, nope, nothing like that. But anyway.
Yes.
But anyway.
You got it. You knew what I was on about. Damn it.
We digress. We digress. Shall we?
Everyone else is really confused right now.
Probably, yeah, because they probably just feel like they've just been Boris Johnsoned, and that's the only Parliament reference I'm going to be mentioning today.
Don't go outdoors, stay indoors. Don't go to work, go to work.
Anyway, we'll move on. The point being is, the draft meant absolutely nothing. So for possibly another week, for after Raw, we're probably going to have Raw and SmackDown all together again for Raw, probably season premiere, and then SmackDown. Yeah. If I see a Raw superstar on next week's episode of SmackDown, that's it. I'm just going to say that the fucking draft is bullshit.
Yeah, and to be honest, I really didn't like the draft when it first started anyway. And I also know that a lot of wrestlers didn't as well. They hated the draft.
I'm okay with it because I can understand the reason why they're doing it, but keep each person on each fucking brand.
It's not just that
exclusively.
Keep the storytelling there, keep the consistency there. Make sure that before the draft happens, that all the storylines are wrapped up so the wrestlers can move on.
Not. Oh, we moved this guy over here. So that's an end of that feud. Oh, no, we're not. We're bringing him over with him straight after, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, so we're going to bore the shit out of you now for the next 6 months again. Well,
on another brand.
With another brand. But it's going to be the same individual wrestlers in the same feud.
Just the ropes are coloured differently.
Yes.
And also having the legends on the Thunderdome screen, not actually there, was interesting seeing Ric Flair, Jeff Jarrett, and everybody, Keith Lee, Mark Henry, and guests, and everything was an interesting idea. But then that means if they're on the screen, that means that a fan was not allowed to be on the screen because a wrestler was on there.
Yeah, that to me.
So that's taken away from a fan.
Yeah, so that's taking away the experience from a fan, because obviously the fans are what make the atmosphere, not the wrestlers. So,
And on top of that, I seen Bill Goldberg on the screen as well during Roman Reigns' match. Fucking really?
no, you
Really?
know what's happen. You know what's going to happen. He's going to end up having a big match with either Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going to have a big match with either Goldberg or The Rock at one WrestleMania. It's not going to make sense. It's going to be boring, and I'm going to burn my eyes out of my sockets with rusty.
Basically, right now we've got the option of either Goldberg or The Rock.
Yeah.
For Roman Reigns, and what makes it even worse is,
Rock's
I feel sorry for the third option, which I think would be the better option. Seeing as he's now just been freed up.
Mm-hmm.
Big E.
Yes.
Big E. Have him win the Royal Rumble.
Have Big E win the Royal Rumble. Have him go to WrestleMania.
Oh, good Lord. I've just found out a way that they can actually fuck this entire situation up.
Mate, there's probably 1,000,001 ways, but okay, but do tell.
Basically, they'll probably have Big E win the Rumble and have him decide that he wants to go over to the Raw Championship and basically use like the loophole and go over so he can join his brothers, the New Day, on Raw.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, is that what you are hearing from me right now is the huge migraine that the
aneurysm
in my mind.
Yeah, I just paused and I just thought to myself, that's the only other way they can have Big E as champion, being on a big push, and make Roman against Goldberg or The Rock.
Mm.
Oh God, don't be right. This is the one. I want to be wrong.
How many more years am I going to have to suffer Roman Reigns before? I don't know how much longer I can take this for. You push him as a heel, he's going to get booed. Naturally, as a heel, is meant to get booed. But he was a face before. Everybody hated him. Why? Because he's not the big, blue-eyed, big dog that
Thank God
to be.
Good Lord. Even though Michael says, big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog. Oh my God.
Oh.
Let's get on to the big dog, shall we?
Yes, that's absolutely.
I'm going to have to cover this. I'm just going to cover this very quickly because of time. Because we do actually have.
You know that for the fact that I will literally explode.
Right. We've now officially got, Braun Strowman against Roman Reigns on Raw. No, I mean on SmackDown. Which brand is he on? Oh wait, he's a Raw superstar fighting WWE Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, which is a SmackDown brand championship.
On AEW.
Really? That's what I mean. This is what I'm on about. This is where the mind explodes, because it's like, right, you want us to believe in the draft? Then believe it your fucking selves, you stupid morons.
Yes.
Right, because straight away, everyone knows Roman is going to be beating Strowman because he's already got his cousin to fight at bloody Hell in a Cell for the Universal Championship, so there's no way Strowman's winning it, especially seeing as he's now a Raw superstar.
Exactly. So, for the interest of everybody, this is where continuity is literally pissed down the drain.
And do you know what the explanation was? Triple H coming on saying, yes, if Braun Strowman wins, he stays on the brand and he takes over the match. So the feud that is being built up ends up changing to fucking Braun Strowman. So that match that Roman made, that aspect of stipulation that he made, could have been changed over to Braun Strowman if he won the match. Not going to be happening. And if Braun Strowman won, then Roman would be getting transferred to Raw. Really? Flip flop and fly?
What we're saying, ladies and gentlemen, if this is giving you a nosebleed, the old tale of putting a cold key on the back of your neck and tilting your head backwards to stop it, in this instant, you just need to get some cotton wool because a key will not stop a nosebleed this big.
This is the point. But anyway, what I thought was really, really interesting is how the match ended.
Okay.
Strowman at one point started beating the living crap out of Roman, which, okay. So all that hype that they've been building up on Roman is just gone out the window because he's supposed meant to be the guy who arrives, wins, leaves. Nope, that's gone out the window with Braun Strowman because Braun's a big guy. Right? They beat the living crap out of each other, pillar to post, and the match comes not from a spear.
Okay.
Because the spear gets hit and Strowman kicks out. He goes for the spear again, and then Strowman goes for the power slam. No, counters, boom, boom, boom. They're still going back and forth. And all of a sudden, Roman jumps up, grabs Strowman by the head, wraps his legs around his waist, and guillotine chokes him. Now, you know there's something wrong when even the commentators are saying, when you got Corey Graves saying, I didn't know he could do that. As you can imagine. And Michael Cole saying, well, he's able to just on the fly. He's able to go for it. He is, of course, the champion. He's in dire need. It's Braun Strowman trying to help you the motherfucking up. To then have Braun slamming against the post, and then slowly fade. And let me just say this, Michael Cole. If someone isn't reactive, they haven't tapped out, you moron. He's passed out.
Wow.
As you can imagine.
Wow.
Yeah. So when Michael Cole decided to just go, he's tapped out. Basically, you just buried Braun Strowman saying he's tapped out to a submission move. When he doesn't tap out, he passed out. Meaning he's harder than, he is so hard he refused to tap out, which is a good guy thing.
Yes, but we all know that even though Vince loves his big guys, that he looks at Braun Strowman and just says, like, Brock Lesnar's bigger than you, Roman Reigns is bigger than you, when in stature they're not.
Basically, what you're saying is Braun Strowman, when you were champion, you didn't carry the mustard, you didn't do good enough, even though he gave you shit storylines.
And he literally only gave him about a couple of weeks' notice that he was going to be champion.
Because Roman Reigns decided to not turn up to WrestleMania.
Exactly. So then you are pandering down to Roman Reigns and literally shitting all over Braun Strowman. I mean,
the guy who filled in.
Exactly. The guy who filled in at the last minute and then give him the most shitty storylines to the fact that now he has gone fucking bald.
And doesn't even wear wrestling gear anymore.
Exactly. Is he a wrestler? Is he just a big guy?
He looked like he come from a lumber mill.
Exactly. Do you remember when Sid Vicious come back and was it Heath Slater that he had to have so many matches in one against
Legends.
Legends. Yeah, and Sid
Yeah.
Vicious turned up. We all know that Sid Vicious turned up in like normal everyday gear because he's getting on a bit and blah blah blah. Braun Strowman is meant to be the monster
among men.
Yeah, he's meant to be the monster among men.
No, monster among men. Monster.
Monster
among men. Let's keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Fuck. Ugh. So he's meant to be the monster among men. So you're looking at it from the outside, and he has been giving all these shit storylines. It's just you're just making him look stupid, like he's pointless. He's not. He's just there. He's just like a statue. It's like having I don't know, a painting on the wall. And it's so boring and mundane to look at, but then someone throws some tinsel around it, and all of a sudden it looks fancy. That is exactly what Braun Strowman is to me at the moment. He's a boring fucking painting, but with no tinsel.
What makes it worse is they had Braun Strowman going to a match against The Fiend. Right? And then have him lose a swamp match that wasn't for the title. Which then changed his gimmick into a massive, monstrous, evil person. I'm going to be the most vilest and meanest person. I will rip you limb from limb. And then all of a sudden, immediately after that, because Roman Reigns came in, Superman punched him, speared him multiple times, and pinned it into, where, if I'm not mistaken, the Fiend became the champ, didn't he?
Yes.
By beating Braun Strowman in that bloody match, going all over the place.
Yes.
Right. So then, he wasn't that much of a monster. Rematch happens. I'm still the big bad monster. Where Roman doesn't even hardly turn up in the match. Suddenly arrives at the end. Superman punches Braun, spears him, dick kicks the Fiend. Spears Braun again, goes to the pin, and how hard is Roman Reigns? Is Roman Reigns' spear so hard they actually could revert it back to a different fucking gimmick?
Yeah, he's literally his spear. It's that hard. He could spear the crap out of you, literally.
He basically speared the supposed evil out of Braun Strowman. So now he's going back to. Get these hands!
Don't you mean moisturize these hands? Go on, say it. You want to. That is his new gimmick. Now, all royalties, obviously, I will give 50-50 split.
That would be absolutely perfect right now. Why have they not done that with him? Moisturize these hands during the fucking pandemic. I fucking love it.
He's got to come back and he's got to go to Roman Reigns. He's got to come out and go, you got to get these hands. And he's just like, Roman Reigns is just like, dude, I'm going to beat the crap out of you. So Roman could really, really do with somebody throwing him off guard by going, Roman, you're going to moisturize these hands. That's pedicure.
That just broke me. Anyway, back to where we were.
It's my apologies.
Yeah. Anyway, we need to push on because we've still somehow got to discuss some of the other topics.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, moving on quickly because we rambled on a little bit too much, and we're going to have to go back to our main topics, which is we're now moving off the draft nights and whatever. Personally, we may do a special episode on regards to the WWE Draft and what our actual thoughts are of it, but we could do that on another episode potentially.
Mm-hmm.
As for the next topic, being Lars Sullivan,
Yes.
he is one person you don't want to be right now.
Yeah. I would
Because-
not want to be him either because of the accusations.
Yeah. And on top of that, there is rumours of it that there's supposedly proof and evidence in regards to it, and WWE could find themselves in a bit of hot water with Lars right now, especially. And what makes it even worse is, with Lars, it's not his first offence.
Yes. Now, I don't know if anybody knows about this, but clearly, Lars has been accused multiple times now. Accusations have been made, and now that he's back in the WWE, no sooner had he stepped foot back in the ring to, put his freak beard back on.
You mean put his the beard that he hardly even had, and he looks less of a freak now, even though he's now more of a freak off WWE television.
Yeah. So according to these accusations, is exactly what my colleague has just said, is that he is a freak outside of the WWE.
In case if anybody wants to know what the accusation is, rumour has it that he's supposedly asking for unsolicited pics to certain individuals, and we are going to be leaving it there as such, as we just stated on it. But there is screenshots of some of these messages going out that are on Reddit and everything.
Yeah.
Which is where we say take it with a pinch of salt, because we don't know how much of it is true. But if it is legitimately, then Lars, I can see this push or whatever you're meant to be having going very, very quickly.
Yeah. And hopefully it comes to a swift conclusion, because stuff like this needs to be handled properly
and professionally.
And professionally. So we can only tell you what we've seen or read. None of these are accusations made by ourselves.
No.
Are just accusations that have been made against Lars Sullivan due to the hashtag Speaking Out movement. So it's one of them. You take it with innocent till proven guilty, but we can only just give you the facts.
All I'll say to you is one of the people, one source that we can name is bodyslam.net, who are reaching out to some of the individuals who are throwing the accusations, just to point that out and give them a bit of the shout out as well. But anyway, we digress, and we'll need to move on once again onto the next and final WWE subject.
Yep.
And Shane, what idea have you got for me this time?
Well, Dad, I've got a really great idea. I want to do Raw, but underground.
What do you mean, underground?
Where we have a ring downstairs, underground, as
With
they...
ropes?
No ropes.
No ropes?
No ropes.
What do you mean, no ropes? God damn it.
So it's going to be a free-for-all.
A free-for-all?
Like a fight night.
What's going to be the catch?
I want you not to bury any of my stars.
Right. So I'm going to be putting in my stars to help, build up your stars? Sorry, son, that's not working.
Anyway.
To cut the chase short, basically, if you probably noticed when you watch Raw Underground, a lot of the main roster superstars were coming in. Some of them are getting knocked out, getting fed. Strowman arrived, knocked out Dabba-Kato. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Great way to build him up as a legitimate killing machine.
By making him out to be the murderer of chickens.
But anyway, basically, let's just get on to it. The point being is that we're trying to make is that for 2 weeks straight, Raw Underground hasn't been on TV. And there is speculation from, I believe, Dave Meltzer's report, Observer report, that it's supposedly done. But that could be just for for the 2 weeks, because 1 week was due to the COVID-19 situation, and because they don't want to be mixing NXT superstars with the main roster. It's more of a health and safety thing. So it's most likely at this moment in time that Raw Underground is done, dusted, no more, not coming back.
Got nothing to do with the fact that Vince hates Shane and he really doesn't want him to succeed. But let's not go there.
And yet, supposedly, it could be Shane who takes over.
Yeah.
Could be.
We'll see about that. Could be.
I can see going more to Triple H than Shane, but we
yeah.
digress. But anyway, point being is that the whole idea of Raw Underground is gone, which is why you probably noticed that Dabba Kato is now a Raw superstar, officially.
Exactly. A Raw superstar, officially. I wonder how that's going to go.
He's not going to turn up on the show at all, which means that the whole fact of him being announced means fuck all. But anyway.
Maybe he could step into Ivana Tinkle's shoes.
What, obscurity? Anyway, let's just move on. Let's move on, shall we? And move on from the WWE news. Let's get on to the Burning Truth website news.
Yes, great news, actually.
Hopefully.
Care to share?
Right. In case if anybody has noticed that we do actually mention the website, which is www.theburningtruthuk.com. A lot of you who might be regular visitors to the website may have noticed that an entire section has suddenly vanished, being the show review section.
Mm-hmm.
In case if anybody's wondering, it hasn't vanished, it's just moved. It's moved into what was formerly known as the blog section, which is now known as the TBT blog section.
Mm-hmm.
It's now been moved into the blog section to provide more blogging material and been fully updated. And believe me when I say this, I have spent multiple days on it.
Multiple.
Non-stop.
Matt Burns has actually been multitasking at the same time.
Yes. I have.
I've known somebody to do gaming and the Burning Truth website at the same time. Never.
Which I was. And there's going to be more updates coming to it soon as well. I believe some of the link pages will be getting updated as well, so you'll have to check out on that. But that is all we're going to be revealing for the time being.
Yeah, so it's for the benefit of everybody else.
Expect more content coming soon.
Soon. Yes, soon.
Anyway, let's digress and move on to our non-wrestling subject, shall we?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Yes, my colleague did mention gaming. Yes, we do game a lot online recently and everything. But that we'll leave that for another week in regards to gaming.
The subject for another week.
But for this week, let's go into TV.
Ooh, interesting.
More importantly, let's go to TV shows that get streamed.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be discussing a television series that is, I believe, on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Called The Boys.
Excellent. I don't know if anybody else has seen The Boys. Obviously, we will be spoiler free here.
As much as we can.
As much as we can, but spoiler free. We may reference a few hilarious bits, which even if you know about it when you watch it, it will still make you cry with laughter.
Yeah.
So we've been through.
We just won't say where it's coming from.
Yeah,
Or
we
when.
just won't say or when or what season. I'll make a start by saying that I absolutely love The Boys. I was hesitant to watching it at first because I thought there's only so much superhero stuff I can do.
Yeah,
But
it's a good way of explaining.
Yeah, it's just I cannot stress how good of a TV show this actually is. It's so good. It gives a total spin and a whole new dynamic to superhero TV programs. And not only that, it's very well made.
Yeah, very well made. And on top of that, what I even like about it is, yes, they do throw in some references to the comics, but they've also been making changes to the TV series to avoid it being so predictable.
Yeah, because obviously, with it being a comic, you'll have like your die-hard fans that will know the storyline. So just like The Walking Dead, they changed it up, and but they've done it within quick concessions, so it hasn't dragged on like The Walking Dead did. So actors started leaving, blah blah blah. So they've moved the story along, and we're quite far into the story, to be fair.
Yeah.
And that's just 2 seasons worth. How many
Apologies for
episodes
sneeze.
was the first season? Was it 8?
Something like that. I think it's eight per season. Eight per season.
Per season. And it has been the most fun I've had watching a TV program for a long time.
Yeah. And don't even get me started on that cold opening on that first episode.
Yeah, it's just like, wow.
That if anybody has seen it, they'll know what we are referencing, and if you haven't, when you do watch it, you will understand what we are referring to.
Yeah. So, like Mr. Burns says, it's a shock to the system.
No,
you would not be expecting it.
No, to put it more bluntly, you wouldn't see that shit coming from a mile off.
No, you wouldn't. You really, really wouldn't.
And if you and if you somehow did, give us the lottery numbers.
Yeah, he gave us a lottery numbers. Oh, wow.
But genuinely, absolutely brilliant. Love it. Highly recommend it. It is one to watch.
Yeah, I'm totally with him on that. It's just absolutely brilliant. So much fun. And if you've got a dark sense of humour, even better. If you can get to, if your humour isn't as dark, but you can see past that, you will actually really enjoy just the storytelling. The storytelling is really good.
And on top of that, it's a good break away from the typical Marvel and DC stuff.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got a lot of DC stuff that I'm looking forward to, but
damn right.
More so DC wise than Marvel, which is
although Marvel have got one thing that's been possibly confirmed, possibly being announced soon.
Mm-hmm.
That could be breaking down barriers, and is going to and could possibly break the box office.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
If ideas come into fruition. But anyway, the point being is if you don't want to have that usual and the goody two shoes or whatever that same done tried true method of the superhero genre, give The Boys a watch. It will shock you, and it is a massive alternative to the usual narrative.
I think we could do that if we can fit it in a TV program that's worth watching once a week, maybe a recommendation of a film or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, but I can generally appoint this. The Boys is one that I would highly recommend anyone to check out.
Yeah, definitely, highly rated in my books. I absolutely love it, and the action is so good, and it's very well done. It's not. It's not like your generic superhero stuff. It really isn't. Basically, without putting too many spoilers on it, it's superheroes gone bad.
Some superheroes gone bad.
Some superheroes gone bad. Yes, you do have the generic goody two shoes in it, but I won't go into too much detail.
But even they're not exactly all too goody two shoes.
No, not. They come from a goody two shoes background, and
But we'll leave it there.
And because of everything that they've been through, it's just hard for them. So yeah, we would just leave it there. But we really highly recommend that you watch The Boys, because it's absolutely brilliant.
I couldn't have said that better myself, and I'm just going to put a mention to what I was referring to, by the way, the Marvel film that could break the box office.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
The third Spider-Man film.
Yes, it could.
And we're not. And by the way, we're not just saying the third is in. They've already made Spider-Man 3. They've already made the 6th one. This will be probably like the 9th or 10th.
No, yes. If anybody has actually got some brain cells left, they will know that the first 3 Spider-Man films was made by Sony and was Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Next 2 was Andrew Garfield, which had nothing to do with the Tobey Maguire era of Spider-Man, and
possibly. Well, in actual fact, you could even say it was, the alternative. It's like the other comic version.
Yeah, it is. That's what I would say it was, really. I mean, all I'll say about the Tobey Maguire era is that the animated Amazing Spider-Man is 100 times better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think my colleague can agree with.
Yeah. I will agree. I'll agree with that. And Venom doesn't need to keep showing his face off to get TV time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
But I'm genuinely looking forward to Spider-Man 3. I'll just call it Homecoming 3, so people know that we are talking about the third installation of the current franchise of Spider-Man. It's got a lot of potential.
It does. A lot. But you're referring to the Tom Holland era.
Yeah, the Tom Holland era. So what I'm saying is, you've got Tobey Maguire, you've got Andrew Garfield, and now is Tom Holland, who is by far the best Spider-Man I have ever seen played on the live screen.
However, that could all be changed in one hit.
It could, yeah.
Because each universe could potentially have its own sequel in one movie.
Exactly.
And everyone's probably thinking, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, there's rumours going around that they could be introducing the Spider-Verse to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Which is where the potential for the biggest, the most popular Marvel character to branch out into the multiverse of the comics, just like the animated film did.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved the animated film.
Oh, yeah.
Because...
But at the same time, this could also produce, at the same time, Miles Morales.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
But then the real question is if Miles Morales is coming into play, who's he replacing?
Yeah, if he comes into play, is he then going to be part of Sony's Spider-Verse, or it's this is like the SmackDown and Raw,
The brain meltdown.
the brain meltdown, because the trouble with the multiverse is that anything can happen. Any one Spider-Man can take over. You could have Gwen Stacy, you could have Peter Parker, you could have anybody
Exactly.
take over the mantle of Spider-Man. You could take anybody could take over.
And have you seen who's going to be playing the major villain?
That is one part I haven't got to yet because I haven't really had time.
Am I going to be breaking the news for you now?
Yeah, go for it. I'd be happy to know.
Electro's coming back.
Electro? Really?
Played by Jamie Foxx.
Really?
Replayed by Jamie Foxx, who could be bringing the Sinister Six into play.
See, now that's where continuity is just... Yeah.
Okay. Think about it.
I mean...
Jamie Foxx from Garfield's universe comes into play, and then we get the Doc Ock from the Tobey Maguire version.
Now that would be amazing because let's just face it, he was...
There you go!
He was my favourite villain. Out of all of Spider... Dr. Octavius is the...
Keaton, the Vulture?
Hey?
Keaton, Vulture?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, what?
That's what I'm saying. They reprise the roles, but each universe version of it comes into play. That will be breaking down doors.
Yeah. Because obviously, not only is Keaton going to be rehashing up his Batman, but he's also doing the Vulture.
Yeah. What a great way to do it.
I just... Who doesn't love Michael Keaton, though?
It's Michael Keaton. He's the man. He is the man who is famous for actually starting the "I'm Batman" line.
I've actually been walking around Westmoreland Safari Park today with my Batman mask on, actually saying to my girls, I'm Batman.
And to make it even more funny, the reason why that line came to be.
Okay.
He forgot his line.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He forgot his line.
It was meant to be "I am the Knight" or something like that, and he just flipped it on his head and went, "I'm Batman," and the director loved it.
I'm Batman.
Done. He's the reason why we've got that.
Yeah, he is the reason. And then obviously we have
That just broke your ass and teeth.
It's broke me, and I can't think now.
Anyway, we're gonna have to push on.
Just move on. I'm gone. I'm done. Done.
Because we are now going to be covering the epic wrestling moments.
Yes, epic wrestling. Now, we didn't get to do this last week because obviously we were running... and
we are getting dangerously close right now.
Well, we didn't really start up until a bit later today. That was partly due to my fault, ladies and gentlemen. So, sending your
true
to me.
True, but we've got about... I'm going to say we've got about roughly... We're going to try and do this in 15 minutes.
We'll get that done in 15 minutes, won't we? Oh.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
If the second one doesn't catch us off guard and make us laugh too much.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go again. We now introduce our epic fails and our epic moments.
Well, I wouldn't say epic fails yet, because I'm just going to say epic wrestling moments, because the first one we want to cover is from 2001.
Yes. Now, this match stood out it was a great pay-per-view anyway.
Yeah.
But this match for me made me fall in love with Kurt Angle, and it actually gave me a massive, massive increase and boost in respect for Shane McMahon.
Oh yeah.
We are of course talking about the infamous. Was it Falls Count Anywhere, or was it
No, Street Fight.
Street Fight? That was it. Street Fight. It was the Street
Aptly
Fight.
named.
Yeah, and it was against. It was between Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle, and all I can say is wow. To sum up the Attitude Era in one match like that, it's.
I think it was at the end of the Attitude Era as well.
Yeah, it was dangerously close to the Attitude Era, wasn't it? Because
it was just after it. I think it was borderline into the Ruthless Aggression. No, just before the Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I know it was before. It was still part of the Attitude Era. I'm pretty sure of that.
It might be just within it. And the scary thing about it is, this whole match was absolutely epic. And a lot of people sitting there thinking, but Kurt Angle would whoop Shane McMahon's rear end. Yes, he would, because here's the funny thing about it is, Kurt Angle decided to enter himself into the King of the Ring tournament as well.
Yes. And
now,
the storyline is just, for me, it's perfect.
Exactly. It's genius.
It is absolutely genius.
Because you've got the first match happening where Kurt Angle is about to, he's facing Christian. He looked like he's about to lose to Christian.
Yep.
For Shane McMahon somehow cost Christian the match.
Exactly. So that would leave you really confused as to why is he doing that, considering that they are
having a match later.
And a fuse. Well,
Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Hits the nail on the head.
For the millionth time.
Yeah. He hits it on the head because he turns around and goes, hang on, I know he's done the bloody genius. He's give Kurt Angle an extra match deliberately.
To wear him down.
Yeah.
How good is storytelling is that? That is just... It seems so simple to everybody else, but for people that are massively into the wrestling world, such as Matt Burns, myself, and others that surround us, JB, others that surround us, we look at that and we go, that is storytelling at its best.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that storyline.
You can't. And on top of that, when it comes to the actual final of the King of the Ring tournament, Shane, to upset Kurt Angle even more, cost him the match.
Exactly.
Cost him the match to enrage him. So when it comes to the actual match, you've then got an irate, and as much as you can turn around and say, would you want an irate, Olympic gold medalist after you? I think not. But bear in mind, he's had 2 matches as well.
So would a tired Olympic medalist coming after you? Maybe not so much. But
not so much. But you've just given him tunnel vision at you.
Yeah. Exactly. So he's not thinking too much of, I've got to get Shane, where Shane's actually got a plan. And
exactly.
He carries it out. Yes, okay, he takes a beating in the match, but my God, did he get really good offense in.
He did, but a beating he did take.
Oh, yeah, but we're not just talking about him taking a beating, we're also talking about the beating that...
both of them received.
Yeah, that was also received and self-inflicted.
Yeah, you could say that. But genuinely, what was so weird about it is the whole match was absolutely amazing. And the scary thing about it is Vince McMahon is giving orders to bring the match to a halt at one point because he's watching his son getting slammed into perspex glass that's not breaking.
Yeah, the first one was the fail one was the German suplex through the glass, and he didn't break.
Belly to belly.
Belly to belly, sorry, not German.
Belly to belly.
Belly to belly through the glass. It failed.
And he lands on his head with a thud.
And his head hit the ground with a thud. Now, if you are part of the WWE network, it is well worth a watch.
Oh.
It is absolutely fantastic how they talk about that match.
On Untold.
Yeah. And it is so, so good.
And I believe it was also covered on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast, is it Broken Podcast?
Broken Skull.
Broken Skull podcast, yeah. Kurt Angle covers it.
And just listening to him, he, talk about this particular match, how he broke his coccyx.
He didn't exactly, break his tailbone. He sort of damaged it.
Yeah, he basically he fractured it.
Ooh.
I've done that myself, and I know that sucks. It sucks like hell.
And they weren't even at the end.
It wasn't even at the end. It was literally in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the match.
And he still continued.
And like a trooper that Kurt Angle is,
a machine,
an absolute machine, he plows through, continues up the ramp to the next spot, which is Shane McMahon going through the glass. Now, the glass was the wrong type of glass.
It wasn't.
Was it not?
It was no. It was because they'd actually treated it to make sure that they ended up treating it by putting like extra lacquer on it and everything on it. To toughen it up to stop when the pyro going off. It ended up basically,
Yeah,
it's got to be strong enough. Yeah, from shattering, it's got to be strong enough to withstand pyro, but break within Shane's body coming slamming into it.
Yeah, as you can tell by the tone of our voices, that didn't happen. First.
Basically, they technically almost made it into almost toughened glass.
Yeah, it was literally like he just replaced it with plexiglass. Plexi, plastic. It was just, oh my God. And the thud on Shane McMahon's head.
It's on the floor.
Wow, that was just, oof. Ooh,
but then
everyone heard that.
Yeah, but then you heard the crowd heard it, and then when he does it the second time after if you listen on the Untold story, Kurt Angle's picking Shane up, asking if he's okay, and Shane's telling him throw me through that glass, you pussy.
Yeah, and he's just like, you pussy, and then he just
Kurt Angle throws him through.
Throws him through, and then we move on to the next spot. Which
to come back out
from the Titantron.
Well, from the stage.
From the stage area, and
the first one
was whispered to Kurt Angle's ear.
Right. The first attempt was belly to belly, and Shane doesn't quite go over it. It doesn't go right, and Kurt this time just says, "Right, one way or another, I am fucking throwing you through it." You've got the referee who's getting orders from, I believe, Bruce Pritchard, who's getting orders from Vince McMahon saying, "Stop throwing my fucking son through the perspex glass." And the referee is literally saying, do not throw Shane out of that perspex. Do not do it. Vince is ordering you not to. Kurt Angle, 0 fucks given. Straight through.
But you also forgot that he tried to throw him through and it failed again on the inside.
Yeah, that's what I was on about. That's when he picked him back up and threw him through. And I mean, he throws him through face first.
Yeah. And let's just put it this way.
The match could have ended then.
Yeah, the match could have ended then. Vince could have really thrown his toys out the pram, but
I think he was.
it just got better, though. It got better. They ended up back in the ring.
They ended up back in the ring, and the referee's thinking to himself, why isn't Kurt listening to me? Why isn't he listening to orders from Vince McMahon? We'll get to that later. The point being is, we get to the ring, Kurt Angle goes for that pin, the referee's counting 1, 2, kick out to a massive pop.
Yeah, it was huge. It was absolutely huge.
But anyway, they then end up going back and forth where Shane, who's been through hell and back, somehow bust out a shooting star press.
Yep.
Perfectly. What the fuck?
Which was perfect. Take note, Brock Lesnar.
Or Matt Sydal.
Yeah, or Matt Sydal for that.
Anyway, all I'll say to you is absolute picture perfect. Then the ending, you think, how can they do the angle slam, improve it? We're going to do it off top rope. So is he going to be doing it off middle rope? No. Let's get a piece of wood and do it off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks fucking safe.
That was about as safe as crossing the road, well, crossing a motorway or a highway. Blindfolded. With your trousers round your ankles.
And earmuffed.
Yeah. And just say, don't worry, I'll face you in that direction. Just keep going. You'll be fine. It's fine. Oh. I promise you it's fine.
Luckily enough, the referee on hand pretty much got his hand to the board to try and keep it into position without actually looking like he's deliberately trying to hold it.
Yeah, he was actually really, really, really good. That he's a good referee anyway. So
definitely, and even though WWE let him go, idiots. But yeah. Point being is, you know how bad it was because just as he's about to come off the move, he moves his hand, and as Kurt Angle jumps with that massive angle slam, you see that board go flying. I'm thinking to myself, that's going into the crowd. No, it's not. Thank God.
Yeah.
And then you see Shane who's in the air going, I'm flying. Where's the ground? Bam!
Yeah. Oh, bang, I'm dead.
And Shane, in his own words, has said he didn't, at that moment there, he didn't have to have anything else done. He didn't do anything else. He just had to he could just lay there. He probably had an idea of a song, possibly by Snow Patrol. If I lay here, in his head, beforehand, before that got released.
If I just lay here.
But anyway, point being is, match comes to an end. They get to the back. They're all thinking Vince McMahon's going to rip him a new arsehole. Vince is that pissed. He left. He didn't go to them because he thought if I turn up, I'm frying someone's ass.
And in all fairness to Shane and Angle, they took that advice and just avoided him like the plague.
No. They were waiting for Vince to turn up in the medical room. They were waiting for it. But luckily enough, they went off to the medical centres and everything, and Vince needed to cool off.
He needed to cool off. I don't know why, because at the end of the day, you should trust Kurt Angle. He's one of the most professional wrestlers of all time. By a country mile, one of the best. And Shane was in good hands. Yes, he's a daredevil. He's absolutely insane. He's just as bad as Mick Foley.
If not more crazy. And if anybody wants to know why I say he's more crazy than Mick Foley, at least with Mick Foley, when he was getting put through the Hell in a Cell, he was getting put through by somebody else. Not willing to jump the fuck off it.
Yeah, and And also, he didn't really have a choice in the second one.
Yeah. And on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, when Mick Foley did it, it was when the cage wasn't as tall.
Yeah, that's true.
Shane did it when it was absolutely at its biggest and decided, fuck it, I'm leaping!
Exactly.
And almost broke himself in half.
And obviously, the coast to coast is one of them moves which I wouldn't feel comfortable taking it or doing it. But
I've been on the receiving end of one variation of it. Not going to discuss that.
Yeah, I bet that sucked.
No. Not from side coast to coast. Corner to corner.
Oh, corner to corner. Jesus.
Hey, I'll give the guy his due. He cleared it. He just didn't hit me in the face.
Oh, you're going to say he did a nut shot.
Yep.
That squeaky voice.
Yep.
That squeaky voice. Yes. That man did only my googlies.
It just brought back memories. Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. We've now got to mention the second one, which is also a bit of a celebration because it was. The second one involves one person.
It's one person. He's had many matches. And
I believe he's even got his own he even had his own segment on Botchamania.
Yeah, oh yes, God yes.
For a long while.
Oh God, yes.
And it was his birthday yesterday.
Yes. Would you like to remind everybody who this individual is?
I'm just trying to think how to lead into this. He is now officially 63. And if I'm not mistaken on how the Botchamania Club always started, never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
In case if anybody wants to know who we're referring to, we are referring to Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yes. And anybody who is not familiar with Mongo, please,
God,
for the love of holy God, please go onto YouTube and please watch some of the content. Or better still, actually, no, go to Botchamania.
Yeah.
My word. Oh, so. Some people are born with a gift. With a gift to become a pro wrestler and be at the top of the game like Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're born with a gift to become the leading neurosurgeon. They're born to become an athlete, a footballer, an American footballer.
Which he was, which if I'm not mistaken, he was actually an ex-American football player as well.
Exactly, yeah. So there you go. Something I didn't know. Something I didn't know. So anyway, what I'm saying is, but what it is about Mongo is he was born to irritate the fuck out of professional wrestlers. Being the worst professional wrestler to ever grace.
I wouldn't say worst. He's not the worst because at least he knows how to bump and sell to a degree.
Unlike can't sniff, won't sniff.
And we're not naming names.
Not naming names.
But anyway, the point being is, it's just some of the absolute hilarious reactions he does. He somehow gets shoulder blocked by Alex Wright and doesn't move. He then goes for the run. Alex Wright moves out the way. He somehow kicks his leg up. It looks like he's lost balance somehow. Bounces off the ropes, coming back while he's got the momentum for then Alex Wright take 2 steps forward, shoulder block him down. And he bumps like he's been shotgunned.
Oh my God. Oh, I do. I really, really do. Really, really, really do miss Monk.
Genuinely,
Oh,
this man somehow in any segment that he was involved in, tagging with Jeff Jarrett against Public Enemy. Oh my god!
do you remember the Jeff Jarrett strut that he did alongside him?
Yes.
Do you also remember the jackhammer that he wouldn't put pillar at the top of Gold, kept moving his arm? Goldberg was just like, "Give me your fucking arm!"
Fuck you!
He said, he was like, "You fucking asshole!" Fucking literally put him up in the air. Probably all of his blood must have rushed to his brain and then just dropped into the floor like a sack of potatoes.
And then the stuff with Kevin Sullivan.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Kevin Sullivan knocked him down. Yeah, she's nothing. Gets instantly up. Boom!
Yeah. Way to know, Sal, bro.
That's what I mean.
And
It's just genius.
let's just put it this way.
Oh wait, I meant to hit you with this case. Screw it. He's on your left. I'll throw it and miss.
Yeah, he throws it and misses, and he still has to bump because it was part of the spot. It was brilliant, pure comedy, but it was non-intentional, pure comedy gold.
I will say this to you. He even somehow got involved in TNA.
Oh god!
In TNA. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was in 2008 for a Monsters Ball match where he even fluffed that up, being a special guest referee for a Monsters Ball match.
Are you talking about the infamous "Do I Dare" count?
The match that was, this match was notable for Michael's extremely slow Candice for a 3 count.
Yes.
1, 2. Is it 3?
Is it 3? 3? Shall I go for 3?
Oh, good lord.
Oh god, I so miss Mongo. It's so funny.
He needs to have his own TV series.
God, yeah. It's like watching Candid Camera, but starring Mongo.
No, I'm being serious here. He needs to have his own TV series. Genuinely, because I think he's absolutely brilliant. Take into account some of his promo stuff he did with British Bulldog.
Oh God, I remember that match that he had as well. Oh my God!
What was it? Something like when don't be eating something when someone asks you a question.
Yeah.
Fucking really?
How many times did he sandbag British Bulldog?
I don't know. I lost count.
How many times did he have to get? Do you remember the tombstone pile drivers that he used to do?
How did he get away with it?
Even as a kid, I used to watch him and just go, "Oh God, he ain't getting up for that. He's dead. He's killed him. Mongo's killed him."
William Regal.
Yeah, William Regal. Of all the professional wrestlers to do it on, you do it on the most outstanding technical wrestler to ever go to the wrestling ring, in my eyes, of course. But
did you see the bit where he's mentioned in a spot with Benoit in a tag match? He's got his opponents in the corner. He's meant to be whipping the villains to whipping the opponents towards each other so they bump against each other. No, screw it. I'll fucking tombstone him. Holy crap!
So yes, for the love of God, please, if you've not seen Mongo, please watch him in his WCW days because they are the best. Even watch the TNA. referee spot. Oh my God.
I'll say this to you now. I wish he never retired.
Can you imagine? To be honest, now that he's older, he'd probably have better matches because he'd have less to do.
Or he'd probably still fuck it up and still make it funny.
Yeah.
And the scary thing about it is, he was in WWE when it was known as World Wrestling Federation, because he was at ringside for when Lawrence Taylor WrestleMania. I'm just trying to remember which number it is. WrestleMania 11, when I believe it was Lawrence Taylor was against Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah.
He ended up taking on Cameron Mustafa somehow, while he was also doing the broadcast with Vince McMahon for a short time somehow.
Yeah.
And then they did colour commentary for WCW for a short time, and then somehow got roped into the fucking Four Horsemen.
Now, do you ever look at things and wondering how they got there?
Are you ready for this? Do you know how he got suddenly into it?
Yeah.
Because Ric Flair started hitting on his wife. Which was Deborah.
Oh my God. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that also didn't know about Mongo, is before Stone Cold Steve Austin was married to Deborah, Mongo's wife was Deborah.
Yes.
Now, I'm just wondering, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, Mongo's had a very blessed career. Let's just put it that way. He's had a very blessed career. But by the look of it, he also had a very blessed love life.
Yeah. And what makes it even more funny is the fact that she ended up divorcing him and then leaving WCW at the same time. And went straight over to WWE.
Yep.
And then it was 2 years later when she married Stone Cold Steve Austin. But then she had to be the manager of Jeff Jarrett and be the women's champion.
Yeah.
But my God, that is... Because take into account, you got him doing a match. Michael challenged Flair and Arn Anderson to a match with his partner, Kevin Graney, another American footballer. He trained with Randy Savage. He was technically trained by Terry Taylor at the WCW power plant. While Flair and Anderson got Heenan to do their coach for the match. Took place at the Great American Bash during which Wild Cause chased the back. I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck he got involved in it.
Well, this is what my point is just that, do you ever look at something and just wonder, how the fuck did that get in there? Or how did that get there? You watch magicians, like Dynamo, and you wonder how he gets your phone inside of a bottle. You wonder, how did...
Are you ready for this?
There? Well,
I think it was at the Great American Bash. I think that was the case that he actually threw in that was meant to have hit his partner Green in the head with the briefcase, but fucking botched that.
Yep. But it's like, how the fuck did he get there? How?
Yeah.
How do you instantly be so fucking bad that you get to wrestle on the main stage at WCW, get to have a match in the WWE, you get to be a referee in TNA.
He was also a champion.
And I was just about to come to that, and he was also a fucking champion.
A WCW United States Heavyweight Champion one time.
How the fuck did he get there?
Are you ready for this?
Dynamo the Magician, phone in the bottle. How did it get there? Mongo wrestling for WCW live. How did he get there?
He beat Jeff Jarrett at Clash of Champions 35.
Oh God, I bet you that was one of that Jeff Jarrett of Whiskey You Could Fucking Forget.
Most likely.
I'm gonna fucking hit
Most
you with my guitar.
likely. Fuck off!
Fuck off, you fucking asshole.
Look at me! Look at me! No, don't be eating. No, don't be playing your guitar while I'm talking to you, boy.
Yeah.
Don't be swinging that guitar at me, boy. I'll just spear you.
Oh no.
What made it more funny is the fact that I believe he used a spear as a finisher, and he hits fucking Goldberg with it in the opening of the match.
He hits Goldberg with a spear, and Goldberg just fucking no-sells the shit out of it, and you just...
Holy shit.
I was just choked on my own tonsils.
That's what I mean. But
Oh,
anyway,
good old Mongo. Hats off to you, fella. You were an entertaining genius. You still are, I reckon.
he still is.
We need you. We need you, Mongo.
We need him now more than ever.
Please, Mongo, make base with Mr. McMahon.
Either go to WWE or AEW. I don't care. If you are, let us know so we can watch it.
Yes, please do. Mongo, you're our man. Can you do it?
Yes, he can. Maybe.
No, I don't think he can.
Maybe, if he doesn't botch it.
If he doesn't botch. Again.
Which he will.
But I love it.
But we love it. It's entertaining. But anyway, I believe that's going to be it for this week. We were going to be discussing next week's topics, but we're that far behind on time. But let's just say, what a fun episode this has been. I'm just going to go straight into some quick plugs right now, which is check out charitable organisations like Trinity for Health and Wellbeing, Trinity Recovery Radio, Mind, Mesh for Mind, Donald Lee's Hospice Care for Children and Young People, and Cancer Research UK. We massively recommend you check out the lighter side of professional wrestling, especially Botchamania, who's probably been mentioned on this episode multiple times already.
Thank you, Mongo.
And thank you, Matthew, for producing the Botchamania series. Of course, Wrestle Crap, which will probably have Mongo on there. You're welcome, RD Reynolds, and of course OSW Review, who I guarantee will have had Mongo on there, because seeing as they do WCW pay-per-view reviews on there.
Yay, Mongo!
Oh. We, of course, also recommend you check out Follow podcasters, broadcasters, be it either Pull or Pass Radio Show, or by the many hosted by Magic Mark Adams. We're the Independent, that's with an IE and not a Y, which is being controlled and run by, I believe, Sugar Dunkerton. Mm-hmm. And of course, Think Wrestling, which is the talk wrestling interviews being hosted by none other than a great friend of mine as well. But ladies and gentlemen, Tom Baker is the host of Think Wrestling. Highly recommend them. Check out Train Pop Culture, Hatred Theory, and many others. And of course, we also recommend you check out Kayfabe Music. They do great custom-made music. They even do the theme music for The Burning Truth, which you'll hear the full version of it at the end of this episode. We highly recommend you check out Powered 4 TV, as they've got content always streaming on there almost regularly. And on top of that, with them having multiple wrestling companies on there as well, you are actually getting more than you bargained for. We, of course, also recommend you check out your local wrestling companies, be it either FCW, United Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Future Track Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Falling Star Wrestling, Venom Wrestling Federation, Slam Wrestling, Wolfen Pro Wrestling, is it the Barracks Wrestling Academy?
It is, yeah, it certainly is.
And it is, and many others. In case I've missed any, there's an app that you can check out, and I will apologise for missing them off, but there is an app where you can check out all your local promotions called Babyface Wrestling App. Highly recommend it because you can follow your wrestling companies and wrestlers that are on there. Not saying that UK DeRay's on there and Matt Burns are on there either, but they are. Of course, there's the Burning Truth website, which we've already mentioned already, which is www.theburningtruthuk.com.
Come over and love.
Come check it out, and hopefully we'll be getting more content on there soon. But we do have to state that the external links that are on the website, we cannot be held responsible for, as we have no control over external links. Follow us on our social media, be it either Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram. You can listen to current episodes, past episodes, and everything as well, and potentially some past interviews as well on there. But we do actually have these episodes on the website, on Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Deezer, and many other external sources, or wherever you may find your broadcasts or podcasts. And that's going to be a wrap up for this week in regards to the shout-outs. And with that, I'm going to state this week, the mental health message. It's still as ever going to be strong as ever. It is, of course, okay to be not okay. And for this week, now more than ever, especially with what we've already covered earlier on, almost at the start of this episode, it is okay to be not okay, and asking for help isn't a weakness. You could end up finding out you have people caring for you a lot more than you ever know. Anything you want to add on to that as well?
Yeah, just, if you know somebody that's struggling at the moment, make time for them, give them a call, give them a text, check they're okay, ask them if they want to talk. Just look after yourself, and look after everybody else who's close to you. If you see somebody that's struggling, try and pick them up.
Even if so, even asking the most simplest of questions could end up helping them. And that simple question could even just be, how are you?
It's always the smaller things that make a difference.
Exactly. And to quote Tom Campbell from Cultaholic, who did this on one episode, and ever since I heard it, it's stuck in my head. Never compare your behind the scenes to other people's greatest hits.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, another quote be it, make yourself a priority once in a while. It's not selfish, it's necessary.
Correctamundo.
And last but not least, if during this moment in time, if there's anything that you can be one thing, be more kind.
Couldn't put it by myself.
And with all that, I would like to say thank you very much for listening to this episode, wherever you are. We massively appreciate it, and genuinely always look forward to future episodes. Hopefully, I believe JB should be back next week.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, but if not, we will be still going ahead. If there's any changes, we'll be making you aware of it. But until then, we highly recommend you all to stay well, and we hope you all stay well and stay safe, and check out your local wrestling promotions, be it social media, and also even reach out to a family member, a colleague, or somebody you haven't spoken to in a while, be it just a phone call, a message, or anything. But until then, we hope you all stay well, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next episode. It has been emotional. Until then, we will catch you next week.
See you guys.
Catch you later.